Hey Clashers, the new troop, the Druid, is taking over in Clash of Clans currently, and especially with Super Witches, it can be really powerful. I will show you exactly why the Druid is a way better healer for this army composition, and as well how to use it. Equipment wise, nothing too fancy to be honest. Rage Vial with the Gauntlet on the King, important. Invisibility and Healer Puppet on the Queen, I will show in a second why. And on the Warden, no big surprise, Fireball and the Rage Aura. And then on the Royal Champion, pretty classic with the Haste Vial and the Hog Rider Puppet. This is what you're looking for. I will show you exactly how it's done. Let's dive in. Let's start to talk about the pet combinations. The reason why I'm using the Unicorn and the Warden is because we do not want to spend out of the Druids early on the Warden. So we want to have already a little bit of a base healing as well on the Warden. The Archer Queen, that's why I'm using the Healer Puppet, is meant to go on the outside for a better funneling, while the King is then going on the inside with the Super Witches together. But let's take a look at this village, and the one thing you always want to do is you want to set up pathing and funneling. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here. The really cool thing about this is you don't have to care about air defenses anymore and stuff like that. You just have to care about, well, pretty much to place your Druids when you have to, right? So right now, we're not having to do anything, just chill, and we just want to set up some pathing. We want to take down this part of the village right here. Actually, I think we already, I think as soon as the Warden is on that, yep, just like that, getting already a nice value. And now the next step for us is to place those Super Witches so the Wardens can lured over. Right now, we don't need the crazy healing. We don't need any crazy healing. So we just have to make sure that whenever there is needed, like there's any healing needed, we're going to place a Druid. That's pretty much how it works. King, as I said, going into the middle of the base. Queen on the outside with the Siege Barracks together. And now whenever there's damage, we're just going to deploy another Druid. Now the wall break to get further into the village. Just like that. I think we'll use one wall break for the Archer Queen to get in here. Something like that. We can replace the first race to get further into the village. Maybe two more Druids to really make sure that the healing is there. Now like this. And I think we're just going to rely on healer on the outside, I think. Add onto there. I think we're just going to rely on our troops first to get through the first compartments. Healing is looking good. Queen is looking good on the outside. And we can add the Roy Champ maybe as well to support that Queen on the top side. Queen ability to save her. Now the jump. Rage. King ability. That Single Throne Tower, I would like to have it go down at some point. But hey, I guess you can't really hope for everything going our way, right? But I think eventually it will go down. Let's just keep raging up. We can now use the freeze on the back end. Troops should re-enter now with everything around the top side gone. The Queen is still surviving. Doing her thing. Let's freeze this side this time. Let's rage everything up again. We have our bears reinforcing. We have the Super Witches coming in, which were stuck earlier. But with the Royal Champ ability, we should have no problem of actually finishing off this back end. Air defense going down. Royal Champ ability now. We still have the invisibility. And you can tell this base is just gone. It's such a strong combination. The healing of those Druids is crazy, and especially if they have the power of the Super Witches, which are non-stop generating the giant skeletons. And whenever there is this weakness of maybe a millisecond of not having a giant skeleton, this is where the bears are coming in, because they are going to tank in front of the Super Witches as well. And whenever there is no tanks, you just have the invisibility spells as well. Perfect combination as well with the Frosty down on the Queen. She's just going to funnel the outside. She's doing obviously a way better job at that because, well, she's ranged, so there's better funneling, and having the King on the inside as a tank is just massive and a massive advantage. But let's move forward and let's take a look at the next attack. Okay, so we're trying to set up the pathing with the Fireball yet again. So where are we going to enter? I feel like taking out the bottom compartment here would set up really good pathing then into the Eagle-Artillery to then jump further and further into the tunnel direction, while then having my Queen go into this one here. Yeah, I think I like that quite a lot. And I think we don't have to one walk that long. That's another really positive thing because, as I said, Angry Jelly can work. And I feel like that's another important thing about what is the correct equipment. And you should always decide based on what strategy you're going to bring. For this one, we're going in now with the Super Witches. Apprentice Warden, just like that. I will try to use my Queen over here with this one. We're adding those over there. Let's get the wall break right. Looking good. The queen is pushing our troops into the middle. As I said, she can do that way better than any barbarian king whatsoever, which is obviously a massive advantage for us. Let's raise this up. And again, we have still 3 druids left over, which we will use eventually for our army. I think we can use one over here. Let's use the wall break. Let's add another one in the core. Do I want to jump already? No, I think we're going to layer, like we would do the jump one compartment after this. As soon as we're getting through the next one, that's where we're going to jump, like right now. I think that's the best timing. While the queen is going to clear out the top side, we can have the royal gem actually taking down the bottom side. That should be no problem. We can just keep raising our middle power. We still have a couple of druids left. Let's just raise this. Let's raise the town hall. Royal champion right there. Oh, that headhunter should have been deployed earlier, but that should be all right. Let's freeze this. We have the town hall going down. The queen is alive, still having that ability. And this now is another thing of preference. I think the equipment for the barbarian king is pretty much set. I mean, the rage and the gauntlet is just pretty much the best thing you can possibly go for when playing most strategies in the game. Same goes with the warden, because you need the fireball, right? And you need the rage aura as well. Same goes with the royal champion. I think the best equipment for our kind of set, at least if you're on a higher town level and you have them unlocked, the haste and the hot rider puppet is just, you have the offensive power of the haste, you have the defensive power of the hawks and the invisibility. It's just the perfect fit. But there's one hero where you have quite a couple of different options. Going for the invisibility and the healer puppet is by far the safest, and this is why I showed you already 2 attacks. But now you have more options here. You could go and replace the invisibility vial with either the giant arrow or the frozen arrow. The giant arrow is more situational. If you're having invisibility tower bases against you, the giant arrow is a game changer. It's crazy. But if you want to have like pretty much consistent DPS output, you want to have a little bit more power on the Archer Queen individually, then you just go with the frozen arrow. Let's move on and do one attack now with the giant arrow and healer puppet equipment combination. But as I said, you have overall 3 options of what you would like to go for. The healer puppet though is always really important, because you have then this healing on the side of your smash, and the queen should be pretty much safe. And it's like a side queen charge next to the super witches. And this is what makes this strategy just so insanely incredible strong. And especially having the Frosty on the queen, make sure that with the druids on the outside, the Frosty can stay alive for quite some time and be super supportive. But let's move on and do another attack. If you are running the giant arrow or the frozen arrow equipment, then you can just use the queen ability really early. But with the invisibility, it's pretty much like a safety net. If you're not paying attention to the archer queen, or if she's just stepping into too much damage, this is where this can be really helpful. As I said, the more power but more risky are the other 2 options. Let's take a look at this base. I mean, the fireball down here looks solid at the top side as well. I mean, it's pretty much symmetrical, so we don't care that much. Let's just do it like this. Fireball, and let's go. Oh, we have not hit that archer queen. That is obviously not optimal, but I think we should be all right with... I would just use the one headhunter, to be honest, if I have to. Is the warden just skipping her? Or just take her down out of range. That's totally fine as well for me. So let's now have the archer queen doing her thing at the top side. We can use the giant arrow already for some damage right there. Then the super witches just like this. And the siege barracks at the top side. Let's use the king here. Let's use the wall break. This one. And now a couple of healers. We can as well use the healing as well for the pack at the top side. In just a second, like now. Let's use the poison. Looking already like a pretty much guaranteed 3-star if you ask me at this point. But yeah, let's just have more druids getting added one by one. The outside pack are just getting some more love this time, so they can support our troops there. There's still some druids down here, so we don't have to add too many. I would just add one more, to be honest. And we can just raise them up. Raise this up as well. So we have the druid healing being a bit stronger. They even heal up my hero, my healers, which is obviously really nice and appreciated. We can add the royal gem at the top side. But this should be pretty much GG at this point. Oh wait, we still have a druid left. Let's just use it. Let's just use it, but I don't think it should be a difference, to be honest. I mean, the base was not the best overall, but still, it just shows how much power this strategy has. And it's all about the funneling. This strategy is not about getting the craziest fireball value shots, as you have seen as well from me or on other YouTube channel. it's more about like just setting up the pathing for the super witches and the druids, and then we'll just do the rest and overpower the base. It is really, really crazy. And a lot of fun, I have to say, because in my opinion, the super... the fireball equipment is just one of the most fun equipments in the game. Just using it, setting it up, and then the druids, in my opinion, is just the mechanic. I just love it, and you can use them so versatile. So yeah, give this strategy a try if you want to. As I said earlier, King, Warden, and Royal Chamber equipments are pretty much set. They are just the best, I think, for this strategy. While the Archer Queen, you can kind of set that up for your personal preference. I think if I would do this strategy, I would go with Frozen Arrow and the Healer Puppet, because I just think is just constant DPS output. It gives the Queen a bit more power. But if you're facing personally a lot of Invisibility Tower bases, which you're struggling with maybe, then you should go for the Giant Arrow. It's just a fun equipment as well. But it's not as important as with like Dragon attacks, because taking down sweepers in the middle of the base is not really that relevant. So yeah, that's something you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, the strategy link for the strategy is down below in the description. Let me know if you have any other ideas with the druid, or in general things and armies I should test. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next class video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.